I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and in this video I'm going to show you how to assemble the long-necked bird pattern. So it includes pieces that will work, basically beaks, that will work for herons, ibises, cranes, and also a flamingo. So here's how you put it together. Okay, this is the video showing you how to assemble the flamingo block, which is also the crane and the heron and the ibis pattern. You can make any of those animals, any of those birds, depending on the beak that you choose and the colors, if you're using a light box. So first I'll show you my light box setup. I've got my light box on as bright as it'll go. This part is optional. I have a tempered glass cutting board in here so that I can more easily transfer this over to my ironing board, since I have to record video where I've got all the good lights, but that's not where my ironing board is. So that just makes it easier for me to carry. If that is a situation for you, just make sure it is tempered glass so you can fuse right on top of it. I've got my flamingo pattern, my placement guide, and then I have a clear silicone sheet. I've got all of my pieces prepared. That means I printed them out. You can also trace them onto the paper side of paper-backed fusible adhesive, and fused them to the back side of the fabric, and then cut all the pieces out on the solid line. Inside the pattern, you'll see some dotted lines. Those are placement guides. You can ignore them. They're only for people who are not using a light box. You'll also see some solid lines. Those are stitching lines, and you do need to transfer those if you want to use them. So on this one, there's one on the beak, just for where you'll stitch a black line down the center of the beak, and then also eyelashes. And I am going to give this flamingo some cute eyelashes. So I'm just going to flip it over so it's fabric side up, and I'm going to use just a fine tip Sharpie, and I'm going to trace those eyelashes. And now I am ready to go. So there is no piece one here. It depends on what kind of beak you're using, whether you're going to put the beak down first or the head first. So we're going to put the body down first for the flamingo. So we're skipping number one and we're jumping straight to number two, because the numbers tell you what piece is what, and they also tell you in what order you're going to lay them down. So there we go. And now piece number three is the beak. Just going to peel that off and get that right there. And I like to line it up. See how there's kind of like a little point here and a point up there? I like to be really careful to get it lined up so that that point is right lined up with the edge of the head, and so is the one up there. That's more important than getting lined up on the tip of the beak if you were not super careful, which apparently I was not in cutting it out. Then there is a piece four, that is a spot, a red spot for the sandhill crane, but we're going to skip that and jump right to piece number five, which is the flamingo's eye. And then I just moved the beak. So we're going to get that back there. And then I'm going to, it's all where I want it to be. I'm going to carefully lift this up, carry it over to my ironing board, fuse everything in place right on the silicone mat and right on the tempered glass cutting board, which remember is optional. And then I will let them cool and then peel it off and fuse it down to my background block and do all the outline stitching. And then I'll bring it back here and I'll show you the finished flamingo, and I'll also show you a sandhill crane and a blue heron. All right, here is one finished long-necked bird. This one is a heron. So it has, they all have the same head, but this one has kind of the straight, long beak. But I've got three, I made 4 total samples of this one because there are a lot of different ways to put it together. So this one is a scarlet ibis. So an ibis has a much longer curved beak, so it's longer and more curved than the heron. So that is another option. I've also got a flamingo here. So you've got that chunky flamingo beak, and his beak sits on top of his head instead of being tucked underneath it like the other birds, but everything else is the same. And I've got one other version that I wanted to show you. So in this one, it is a sandhill crane. So I used the same beak as the heron. Cranes and herons look really, really similar unless they're flying. When they're flying, I think cranes fly with their necks straight and herons fly with their necks in an S shape. But otherwise they look very, very similar. But the sandhill crane has this distinctive red spot on his head, and I wanted to make that because this is for a national parks quilt, and the sandhill cranes are in a couple of our national parks. So I wanted to include the extra piece that you needed specifically for that. But if you wanted to add pieces to make other very specific long neck birds, if there are a crest or anything like that, you could super easy add something like that to the existing shape. But the beak is the tricky bit, and I've given you all the beak shapes that you should need. So you can get this pattern at shinyhappyworld.com. I'm Wendy, and I will see you next time.